here at Robinson Stadium today to talk about Watertown Purple Tiger football as we continue our previews of the 2016 high school football season. Tom Duggin here for DTC Sports alongside head coach Gavin Webster of the Watertown Purple Tigers. Coach, last year you had an outstanding season, a team that won 8 ball games. Tough loss to a very good Tyner team, I know, in the first round of the playoffs. Let's talk about how you build off that and how you use that loss in the playoffs as motivation going into what should be another good season here in 2016.
Well, you know, we've really worked in the off season, worked hard in the weight room, knew we had to get bigger and stronger in the weight room. Played a very good, talented, physical team in Tyner. And you know, we were out physical a little bit in there, so we knew we had to get stronger, get bigger, and along with that, create depth. You know, they had a lot more depth than we had, so we've tried to create a lot of depth this year, and our numbers have grown, and you know, we feel like we've got better in some areas.
Some high expectations certainly for the season, as most prognosticators have you picked either tied for first or first place alone for the Region 4 2A race this season. Talk about those expectations and how you kind of keep your team, I guess, grounded a little bit when they start reading things like that.
Yeah, you know, everybody's expectations should be high. You know, we come off had a good year, had a good season. You know, we wish we could have went deeper. You know, when you have a lot of kids returning back off that team, you know, your expectations should be high, and we want them to be high. You know, I saw that the other day, one of them had us picking first and, you know, second. You know, that's all fine, you know, but when it comes right down to it, you know, it's not how you start out, it's how you finish. So we'll try to keep them focused. It's a long year, anything can happen, a lot of things can happen. So, you know, just really, you know, just trying to keep them focused, keep them grounded, and just really stay after them each week.
What's exciting, you got a big senior class coming back, a lot of kids that have been playing a lot of football together for a long time. Talk about that group of seniors and what they've meant to the program here at Watertown.
Got a real good group of seniors, been around for a long time. Most of them have started since they're freshmen, if not a sophomore. They played a lot of ball together, so they've grown together, got bigger and stronger together. They've played a lot of games. You know, it's just a well-knit, tight group of young men, good group of young men, you know, and it's been a real pleasure to coach them for 3 years so far, and looking forward to this year.
You got a great quarterback, and we'll talk about him more in a minute. What I want to talk about first, in order to have great quarterback play, you got to have a great offensive line, and your line looks very impressive this year. Rusty Stats, of course, the Air Force commit, but you've got 5 seniors up there, Coach. Again, been playing a lot of football, and that's where it's got to be very excited on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, we feel good about the front. You know, got all of them back. You know, got one new back. Jonathan Bentley did not play for us last year, so we're welcoming him back. You know, he's anchoring at center, and pretty much all across through there, all of them's back. Played last year, started in there. So, you know, that's good when you don't have to come back and retrain. Whole new line when you got them all coming back. You know, we don't change anything. We're doing what we do. They should be familiar with it, so that's a big plus.
Excellent quarterback in Seth Price, all region last year. Young man that can make it happen with his arm, with his legs. He's very high football IQ. You hear that thrown out a lot, but he's very intelligent on the field, and I know you're very excited to have him back. He can make so many things happen on the field.
Yeah, Seth, he's our leader out there. I give him a lot of leeway. You know, he's when you talk football IQ, you know, he's the type of guy you want back there. He can see a lot of things. He knows what I'm looking for. He knows, you know, we call a play. He's got several options that he can make choices from. So, you know, he's our admiral out there. You know, he gets that offense going. If he goes, that offense goes, you know, so very talented young man.
You've got some great skill people coming back. I know you had a couple of losses, key receiver too, running back Luke Turner, of course, has moved on, but who are you looking for? Some players that are going to step up both in the backfield and at receiver this year?
Well, we got several guys. You know, we feel like last year we had some talented young men in Luke Turner and Skylar Scales. You know, they put up big numbers on running the ball and receiving, and had some role guys behind them, you know, that had good years. But those guys that were role guys are all, you know, they're playing major roles now. And we feel like we're a lot deeper in that area. You know, we got Vontae Bates, who's going to see a lot of time at playing receiver and in the backfield. We have Zach Wren, he'll be receiver. Elijah McClary, Brady Swan, who saw a lot of action last year. We'll be depending on him a lot again this year. Corbin Bean. We have Keon Dotson running the ball. We got he'll be splitting some time with Ty Love. So, you know, we feel pretty deep right there. We feel just we're a lot deeper in those skill areas than we were last year. You know, we got a few more. I'm probably leaving some names out. Nathaniel Gutierrez, Jensen White. So, you know, we got a lot of guys that can catch the ball and move the ball and keep a change going. So, you know, we feel pretty fortunate. Now, granted, you gotta get it done.
Right.
You know, we feel like we've got it on paper. We just got to get it done on the field.
You mentioned creating and developing depth, and a lot of times, especially in the trenches, we see a lot of your linemen go both ways. Is that going to be the case this year? Have you created enough depth that you feel comfortable rotating on both your offensive and defensive lines?
Well, right now we feel like we've created depth. You know, we got some guys over on that defensive side of the ball that's not playing offense, you know, and now granted we know there's going to be some times that those guys up front are going to have to split some, going to have to give us some reps over there. You know, we got the likes of Rusty Stats. You know, he'll be able to play both sides of the ball some. Bryson Watts, Jesse Cooper. You know, those guys are going to have to give us some time. But, you know, we got some guys on that defensive front. See if I can name them. I don't want to forget everybody. But our linebackers, Josh Deal and Dalton Tarpley. Ends, we've got Jay Tubbs, Josh Tate. At tackles, we've got Gene Wynn, Jordan Seward. You know, those guys are going to start anchoring that front out, and we're just going to, you know, we feel like we've got enough players that we can do that, and just knowing that some other guys are going to have to step in sometimes, you know, and you know. I
know you got a couple of guys, too, that are key on offense, and Seth and Vontae Bates that are also keys in your secondary. They had outstanding seasons last year in the secondary. Will we see them back there again this year?
You probably will. You know, Vontae will be anchoring that secondary. He's a leader back there. He knows where the ball's at. You know, Seth, we don't play him a whole lot back there, but just a lot of times somehow he finds his way out there. You know, he don't go in the game plan starting, but a lot of times, you know, when it's right down to it, he just you know, his IQ of where the ball's at and everything, you know, he'll find his way back out there a lot.
Coach, looking at Region 4-2A, and again, Watertown picked right there at the top with Forest. Of course, that'll be a big game on September 30th, I know, for you guys. But you also got to look at Eagleville and Westmoreland, some of the teams. It seems like a very balanced, pretty competitive top-to-bottom region.
Hey, this region we're playing in, it is very balanced. You know, it's one of those regions that it could go either way week to week. You know, it's a very competitive region. You can't overlook anybody. You know, I just felt like last year, you know, going into every game, you know, it's one of those games, if you have an off game or you don't play well, you know, it could go the other way. And that's the way I feel at this time. You know, a lot of them, they got a lot of people back. You know, hey, it's anybody's region.
Coach, I've been to Watertown a lot of times over the years covering football. Of course, the brand new facility here, and you'll find you won't find anything better than the facilities you guys have here. They're great, but what really makes Watertown football to me is the atmosphere. The fans come out. This is like small town high school football. The folks all come out here on Friday night. It's just really an amazing atmosphere. It seems like week in and week out.
We have great support in this town. I will say that. Our fan base, you know, they love Watertown football. You know, and we try to put them, we're going to put them a good product on the field. That's what we try to do every year. You know, we preach that, you know, do the right things when you're supposed to and get out here and play hard and effort, be disciplined. And that's what the people want. They want to come out and they want a good product on the field, and that's what we try to give them. They're very great fans.
We'll talk about and wrap things up with week one. Of course, Gordonsville, you play already a tough region schedule, but anytime you get together for Gordonsville too, it's a great rivalry, I know, and you guys will be going to Turney Ford Field this year. Talk about what you expect in week one, and I know there'll be a lot of adrenaline pumping when the football kicks off at night.
Well, I've been around this Gordonsville Watertown game for a lot of years. I've been, 30, 35 years. You know, it's going to be a hard-nosed fought football game. It doesn't matter who's up, who's down, who's better. You know, it's just one of those games you can expect wherever you go, it's going to be a tough-nosed football game. So I expect a great football game. I expect it to be competitive and just a hard-fought game.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck in Week 1 and throughout the 2016 season. Very excited this year about Watertown football.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Coach Gavin Webster, joining us as we preview the 2016 Watertown Purple Tigers right here on DTC Sports.